Hello, and welcome to the We're Not Talking About Ugin the Spirit Dragon
Thank
today.
you for spending your time with not Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic Don't Talk About Ugin the Spirit Dragon. We are continuing our Pioneer series with Fate Reforged, and the only good card from it was Ugin!
No, I mean, there's some other stuff, but yeah, that's true. And it's one of those cards that is most likely 100% going to get a reprint if there is going to be a Pioneer Masters set.
Right, absolutely. Real quick before we get started, if you wouldn't mind hitting like, hitting subscribe if you're already logged in. If you're just here to enjoy the video, sit back, relax, and let's talk about Fate Reforged. As with all of these sets, we have picked not Ugin. We have picked the lower tier, the $1 or under cards, the $5 or under cards, to try and get some hits, so that when those cards are becoming 4-ofs in your sideboard, the 4-of is not up to 40, 50 bucks, and you're going, dang, Joel, we should have bought those when they were 50 cents a copy.
That's true, and we mentioned it in a different video. When you compare Pioneer to a format like Modern, most likely Pioneer came to be because Modern has such a high price barrier at this point that they said, you know what, ban the fetch lands. Everybody needs fetch lands, and they're not able to play the format because of it. And, you know, when we're showing you cards that are like $3 to $5 and you compare it to a format like Modern, like, it's just, it really is like, sometimes you have to spend like $200 to get 4 cards for a deck. And
yep, so that's exactly right.
Trying to avoid that.
Let's start off Fate Reforged with our hero Warden of the First Tree, Abzan Aggro Delight. This is a mythic. It is a 1-drop. It gets bigger. It can get mana pumped into it. This is everything I like in an aggro deck, aggro card.
Yeah, I think this card is really, really cool. Yeah. And, you know, at 1 mana, I don't really know what more you want. It never really took off in Standard, which is odd.
Because cards like Figure of Destiny did take off.
Exactly. I think that Pioneer, being a smaller, more confined format, maybe Warden of the First Tree could get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that if I was going to build an Abzan aggro deck, he's definitely starting in the 1-drop slot, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about a control card now, and go with Temporal Trespass, a delve, control, extra turns. Just everything on this card, when I read it, is like a spike starts going, I need to figure out how to play this card.
Yeah, and it's a card that's obviously played in EDH,
right?
But it doesn't really have a home in any kind of constructed deck. It's not played really in Modern. I'm sure some people have tinkered with it, but maybe Pioneer, being a more confined format, I know that we keep saying that it's more confined. It's more abbreviated. That might be a good breeding ground for Temporal Trespass to try to get some footing.
Right. Well, I mean, the field is open right now, and that's really why Jake and I have had so much fun and been so excited about making these videos, why we actually think it's got some value to make these videos and it's not just filler content, because the field is open and any of these cards could bust out and go from being a 75-cent card to being a $5 card. I mean, look, this is a stack. That's just like one order that has come in of cards that I ordered that were all $2 or less, and I was like, maybe this card could come in.
Yeah, and you don't want to be... I mean, the worst case scenario is most likely you'll sell the card back for the price you bought it for.
Right, that's it. You just buy list it back and you go on. Crux of Fate, this is a weird choice, but I chose this one to put on the list because if you get a mono black deck strategy going, as far as a true destroy everything removal, Crux of Fate is about as close as you're going to get. Everything past that's going to be all creatures to 3 converted or less. Everything gets -2, -2, -4, -4, this kind of thing. But this, besides dragons, is going to wipe the entire board.
Yeah, and obviously it's not Damnation. It's not even close to Damnation. No. But this is pretty much like when you see, you know, what Wizards does, you know, for mono black, they're like, okay, we can't give them Damnation, but we can make it 1 more expensive, and we can give it a weird clause. Yeah. I mean, very rarely are you not going to be able to clear the board with this card.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Moving on from that, we got Soulflayer. You picked this one.
Yeah, I love this card. I like, obviously, that it has Delve. I think everything with Delve, people like to brew with it because there's good ways to fuel a graveyard. Obviously, there's no Faithless Looting in this set or anything like that, but we do have Thrill of Possibility. We have Stitcher's Supplier. There are tons of ways to fuel a graveyard efficiently in like a black-red shell. And when you pair this card with like Chromanticore or Prophetic Flame Speaker.
That's Jake's janky combo of the week is Chromanticore, delved out by Soulflayer coming in with keyword soup.
Oh yeah, just like, and now we've got our Soulflayer online. We're going. I don't know. Maybe it could get there. Maybe it's just a fool's errand. But I do love how right now we're in a brewer's paradise.
Yeah.
As far as, just it's wide open. We have no idea. We have no results. This format is going to be changing and changing.
Yeah.
This is huge news. This is just absolutely enormous news in the Magic multiverse.
Yep. Keeping up with the whole delve strategy, we got Tassiker, the golden boy.
Yeah, delve.
Right.
More delve.
Exactly. More delve, and he comes with some nice a nice ability tacked on. So, it continues that whole thread. This isn't one that will end up being a 4 of in a deck because it does have legendary on there. But, could it show up if there's a delve deck that breaks out? Absolutely.
I could tell you, dude, this card, when it was in standard, was 100% played in the blue-black control deck.
Oh, yeah.
It played alongside Pearl Lake Ancient and I think Silumgar and some other stuff.
Right.
But the fact that you could delve away the cards that you don't want to bring back with Tassiker's ability makes it really, really appealing, because then, it's no longer random. It's just like you're picking the counterspell that you need because it's the only card left in your yard.
Right. Next up, we got a 5/4 flying demon. At the beginning of each player's opponent's instep, player chooses 2 and sacrifices the rest. I mean, Archfiend of Depravity is quite the bad guy.
Yeah, it's a little bit expensive. I don't know. It could get there. You never know.
Yeah, when you see any of these demons that are 4 or 5 costs, they come in with 4 or 5 power or toughness, and they have flying. Most of them have trample. I'm kind of disappointed that this one does not, but they always have a sweet ability with some kind of weird drawback tacked on, and the drawback of this one is that they do get to keep 2 of their creatures. But as a sideboard coming in a black deck against a go wide strategy, this has got some legs.
Yeah, no, I think that it's good. It's one of those cards that kind of comes out, it trades well, and it cleans things up.
Yep, absolutely. After that, we got Timur Sabretooth. Now, this is a card that I put on here. I know it's an uncommon, so if you're coming at this from a finance standpoint, you're going to want to get foils. But I love that in a green deck, this is a 4/3 for 4, and it can give itself indestructible and return an ETB ability creature to your hand to get more value out of that creature.
Yeah, I think this is a neat little spicy pick. Yeah, I think that ETBs are absolutely a thing in Magic.
Right.
And giving this thing indestructible to abuse combo, yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, the way that I've used this the most often is in my Maelstrom Wanderer Commander deck, because it gets me around board wipe in 2 ways. It returns Maelstrom Wanderer to my hand so that I can get the double trigger off of that creature again, and it leaves a creature behind through some kind of epic board wipe because it gains indestructible.
Yeah, one card that comes to mind just looking at it right now is Murderous Rider.
Yeah.
Just the idea of, killing something with Murderous Rider, playing it, and then returning it with Timur Sabretooth.
Right.
And then restarting the whole cycle. It just seems really, really bananas.
Yeah, absolutely. That is going to do it for our Fate Reforged list. This 3-set Khans block was a little difficult for us to really pull some hyper powerful cards out of, but I really did have fun digging through it and trying to find some hidden gems.
Yeah, finding cards, we have to remember that in this format, it's most likely going to be fast, and so we try to find cards that are between 1 and 4, but if something's notable, that's higher mana, of course, we're going to put it on the list.
Absolutely. Like we said, we'd really appreciate if you hit like and subscribe. Helps us out. If you want to support us further, we got Patreon. Link is down in the description below. And we are streaming twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursday nights.
2 days.
Over on Twitch.
Thursdays. On Twitch.
That is correct. I am tapped out. You got anything else?
Do you think it's possible to get in the camera?
Oh, yeah. Maybe get in there. Get in there. Get in there, Jake. Get in the camera.